name's Lindy Cowling. Welcome to my channel. My website www.lindycowling.co.uk and my email is info@lindycowling.co.uk. You've probably have noticed of late that I am making quite a few videos. Definitely my energy and consciousness is being drawn that way, and in fact it's almost as if my energy is being pulled that way. I mean, I literally could be on camera 7 days a week, you know, a couple of hours a day. There are so many things that I'd like to share, and I'm being drawn to share. As you know, mine is an experiential channel, so I share from living experience, living embodiment and experience personally, but also from working with my clients. Sorry, my cat's become very interested since I got on camera. You might see a cat on camera in a minute. She's going bananas. So this short video this evening is called Merging with Michael. So I've spoken on camera before in the past, over the 2-year period that this channel has been operational. 2 years they've been on YouTube now, making videos on YouTube now. Spoken before about the from the twin flame union, physical living experience of twin flame union, not a concept, not an abstract form, not in the astral realms, physical living experience of it. And I've spoken before about the merging of masculine and feminine, and the phenomena, if you'd like to use that word, phenomena, that you can experience when that is happening with a person, in physical human form that you are interacting with, that holds that level of consciousness. I'm just smiling because my cat's causing havoc in the background here, which is interesting. A male cat causing havoc while I'm talking about this. So I'm going to also explain another element of the merging of masculine and feminine consciousness that does not have a direct physical connection to the twin flame consciousness. And the reason I'm explaining this is because what I'm about to explain, other people, if it happened to them, may interpret it in a different way, or if they had never been through the awakening and the experience and the journey, for example, that someone like myself has been on, they may immediately assume that they are just merged with a twin flame from the astral realms. So I'll cut a long story short, merging with Michael, and that is not the name of a twin flame. This has been about 2 months ago now, and the reason I haven't shared it beforehand is I wanted to have the complete awareness and realisation within myself of what had occurred, a complete awareness and understanding myself of what had occurred, and I also wanted to see if it was permanent or if it was a temporary phenomena that would pass. And I now have the knowing on it, so that's why I'm sharing it. And I thought it might be helpful because I'm sure there are other people that are experiencing things like this as well. So as part of my spiritual practice, I link in to the source daily, every day, without fail. Not for very long, but I just link in and reboot and, you know, check out the energy every single day. And I've been doing this for a very long time now, a number of years. It's changed form, it hasn't stayed the same, but I link into what is formally known, or what is known as Christ level consciousness. So I go in at that level, that's where I start at, or go in at. And so about 2 months ago I was doing this, just an ordinary day, and then quite an unusual experience in the linking in with that consciousness, in that the energy of Michael came forward. Now when I say Michael, a lot of people are going to straight away make the link with Archangel Michael, and it may well be a representation of the consciousness of Archangel Michael. The reason I'm saying it may well be is because, to me, it doesn't really matter what label I put on Michael. Michael was the name that strongly came to me, and I recognised instantly the level of consciousness Michael was coming from, which means I knew it wasn't a spirit, I knew it wasn't an entity, I knew it wasn't a thought form, because obviously I work as a medium clairvoyant. I'm used to all those different levels of linking in and consciousness. It was nothing like that. And it was extremely pure, extremely pure, extremely pure love. Had a very angelic feel, and Michael was the name that came to me. So you can put your own interpretation on that. I'm not going to make a statement it was Archangel Michael. What I'm going to describe is how it felt and the energy. And so as I was doing my normal linking in, Michael came forward, actually very much dressed, almost like not in a suit of armour, but quite, you know, an armour, sword, angelic feeling, and stepped kind of with my not spoken permission, but permission in energy, stepped forward and stepped 100% totally into my heart. So it was an absolutely amazing experience, because it was overwhelming and fired up the entire chakra system at the same time. It was very blissful, overwhelming love, overwhelming expansion, and there were elements of it it was quite intimate in some ways, and it kind of felt quite intimate as well. It was just an amazing feeling, you know, set the whole system alight, my whole system alight. Felt amazing. And I felt fantastic. I mean, I felt fantastic for about 3 or 4 days walking on air. And that dropped a little bit because of normal everyday life. But the assimilation that happened then has not gone away. So what I mean is, the only way I can describe it is almost as if an element of my consciousness in masculine form returned home, or joined home. And the interesting thing was, and no matter what's been going on in my life, that has remained, and that has my inner consciousness, my inner energy has expanded as a result of it. But what's been really interesting to me, so I haven't said anything, so I thought, right, I'm going to wait and see and understand it for myself and understand it, And it was the right thing to do, because 2 months down the line I have the knowing now, and I would not call this a twin flame at all. It's an element of consciousness that is kind of me as well. It's never going to go away, that I can tell you. It's not a temporary thing, it's part of who I am. And I had to understand all that, be sure of it, and assimilate it and embody it before I could share it. But an interesting spin on this, which I'm finding quite amusing. For a while, as a result of the human side of the experience I've had, I've kept well away from the male population, because I've had to go through a process of healing and recovery from some of the dramatic side and the darker side of the circumstances that I had to go through. I've gone through a long process of healing, a long process of doing that solo, a long process of change, and I've not really been around physical males. I mean, I've interacted with them as clients that way, but I've not really interacted in my physical life around males. But it's been really interesting to me that since that merge with Michael, wherever I go, even on days where I'm looking, not looking at my best really, and not really feeling at my best maybe sometimes, just go around the corner shop or going to do something ordinary. It's interesting, the reaction of males to me since that merge with Michael. They've been much more amenable to my energy, and that's really intrigued me. Not that they weren't amenable before, but it's almost as if they recognise that energy in me, and they seem more as if they are drawn to me. I don't mean all males. I mean, don't get hold of the wrong end of the stick here. I mean, they just seem to be reacting to me differently. Now, again, I wanted to monitor that and see if that went away, and if anything, it's probably increasing a bit. Which again, I can only. Well, my feelings on that is that they are drawn to that. They're recognising that masculine essence, that masculine divinity within me that's reflecting back. I can only assume it's that. But it's either way, it's very, very interesting. And so I'm sharing this really, that the reason I was drawn to share it, I mean, there's about 10 films I've got the titles to them. Like I said, I could be on here all day and all night, and I'm going to have to make a decision at some point. I'm either going to have to make a decision to not do so much one-to-one work and to put my energy really where it's drawn, which is much more on teaching and seminars and workshops and sitting in front of roomfuls of people doing this sort of stuff and filming and radio. Or I'm going to have to make a decision, to come away from some of it, because there's so many places my energy can go, and I've got to really follow where I'm drawn and where my energy can best be used. And as all my inspiration pours through this side of my work, and through writing and creating and that, I have to follow that. And there's going to have to be some changes, because like I say, this is taking up an enormous amount of my time also, and obviously I don't get paid for doing these films. This is my 113th film, I think, now. So I might have to restructure my workspace, but this is what I actually love doing. I think this is what I'm meant to be doing. I feel this is what I'm meant to be doing. The reason I'm sharing it, as you know, it's an experiential channel, is because when people have things like that happen to them, they may misinterpret it, and I'm not saying that for everybody it would be the same experience, and maybe it is something different for them. But all I'm saying is there are aspects of when you are coming when you're when you're in your heart, you continue to elevate and expand and access consciousness in a different kind of way. And I truly feel that this is another element of accessing that consciousness. That does not mean I've had, although it is mystical, magical and beautiful, it is actually part of who I am. And that's what I'm trying to get across here. It's not that I've got a twin flame called Michael and now I'm waiting for Michael to arrive in the physical. It's not like that. So that's why I'm sharing it, really, to try and explain it and also get some clarity there. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. This I could have done, like I said, about another 10 titles. When I'm really in the flow, I get title after title, and I don't really know the content of it until I sit here talking, and I go with which title is the strongest. I don't know what I'm going to say, what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't plan it, I don't write it down, because I'm coming from the unified field, unity consciousness. I'm coming from, well, I have another word for it. I call it the pot of potentiality. I've been calling it the pot of potentiality with my clients for about 2 years now. I call it the pot of potentiality, but it's swimming around in the mix there, and I'm coming from there, which is directly coming up and out rather than an analytical process or calling in that way. It's coming at a different level of consciousness. So I hope that helps, and if you've had or are having experiences like this, it might help you to make some kind of sense of it. Doesn't mean to say that your experience will be the same as mine or mine will be the same as yours, you know, but it may well be the same kind of thing, that you're assimilating and merging with an aspect of your own expanded consciousness. And on that note, I will love you and leave you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for resonating. And I'll probably see you again soon, because you can't get me off camera at the moment. Until I get really fed up with being on camera and have nothing else to say, or until people make it known to me that they're fed up seeing me on camera, I should just be coming out doing this until the day comes when I know that that's enough. And I'm not drawn to do it anymore, and I don't want to do it anymore. There's not that interest in me doing it anymore, and then you won't see me on camera again. That day isn't today. So I hope this helps, and I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll love you and leave you until we meet again, which is probably very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.